Oh my God. Yo, Kenny, you good?
Dun.
All right, man. Welcome back. We got another episode of IBTE Sports Podcast. You got your boy Lawrence, Kenny, Phil, and Neil here. How y'all doing? How y'all living? What's up?
What's going on? Same shit, man. You already know. We got the basketball season starting soon, though.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Kyrie Irving.
He doesn't really mean that, but that'll be another segment, another day. We'll talk. He said, "Shout out to Kyrie Irving." You look salty after you said that. You good?
I'm over it. I'm over him.
I'm just getting started.
I'm over all of it.
All right. So how's y'all week going, man?
Can't complain, Busy, but better than bored.
Right. Going good for me too. And probably in like a week's time, we're gonna have all three sports playing: baseball, football, basketball. So plus baseball, it's postseason time.
Oh, well, you're just gonna forget about hockey?
Right.
Hockey too.
Jeez.
So, I mean, speaking of, since someone brought it up of postseason baseball, Red Sox during the ALCS. So
You brought it up.
oh, I did. Oh,
yeah, you
okay.
brought it up.
Yeah. I know. Red Sox in the ALCS.
Phil,
That's all.
that's an awful joke. Let's just, let's just go to the next person.
Kenny, it sounds like you're talking underwater. I don't know if anybody else hears that. It sounds like he's in a fish tank.
Is that me or is that? I don't know.
How about now?
A little bit better, I think.
I don't know.
Yo, what we got?
What's good? What's good, Eli? What's good, bro?
Big week for sports. Last week was not so good or the week before that was not so good for any of us. We all lost.
But now we all won.
It's not bad. It's not bad now. I told you, it's a redemption. There's a little redemption for us.
Oh, what the hell?
Ooh, technical difficulties.
Did I hear that? Was
No.
that just me?
Nah,
Yes, you
it sounds like yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like cricket sounds or like
Yeah, it's
yeah, I hear too.
Everybody mute. It's Kenny. The culprit is Kenny Lacy.
Oh, man.
Can you hear me?
It's
Yeah.
Kenny. The culprit is
Right.
Kenny.
But no, I think it's been you say I hear crickets. But I think it's been this past week for football has been pretty impressive. I feel like the league is at, like I've been saying it before, it feels like it's more balanced than it's ever been in a long time. A lot of down teams that have been gone for a while are finally back competing, so I feel like it's nice. You got the Chargers too. Chargers is finally finishing games out. They don't look as sorry as they did in the past 2 years.
It happens
Close
when you get a
games.
coach that knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
Right.
shout out to him. But I watched some of his interviews and everything, but he knows his stuff.
Yeah, man.
He knows his stuff.
You were number one defense in the league last year.
Last year.
Historically great defense last year. And then they just leaves us. Just fucking leaves. Salty.
He said salty.
It's okay. You have Raheem Morris now.
What'd you say?
He's doing good for us so far.
Don't you have a top tier defense?
We do,
Great.
but
Aaron
it's not-
Donald, Jalen Ramsey.
We go from number one defense to like top to like just outside the top 10. That's not good enough for me. This fucking bend don't break fucking defense. Like what the fuck?
Well, circle of life.
What it is.
We said it is what it is. Now, what did y'all? Let's get right into the games, man. What did you guys think of the Bills and Chiefs? We'll get right to it. You see him on the thumbnail. You see he's jumping over, over Kansas City, leaped over the entire team. Josh Allen lit up the Chiefs, man.
If you made it past the hour and some change halftime, then it was an amazing game to watch.
Yeah,
I don't know how long during that delay.
Yeah.
There was a moment in the second half where Casey got the ball. It looked like they were gonna do what they usually do, and then the
That
Bills,
penalty.
then the penalty.
It's not even just a
Little
penalty.
little iffy, but I get it though. He drove him into the ground, but
Yeah, it's their defense is just going to kill them all year. Like if they weren't playing against the Bills, they probably could have come back in that game. But their defense isn't strong enough to hold off a good offense late in games.
Right, plus another, Tyrann Mathieu and Daniel Sorensen moment with the shrug.
Defense is just bad.
I think that's hilarious that happened though. That
Yeah.
somebody was able to capture those moments where he's getting burned in crucial parts of games and big games, and then it's the same person that's like,
Right.
Defense is just bad, man. Kansas City can't win shit with that defense. So they better. They're gonna. I'm looking for them to make moves before the trade deadline for defense. I don't know what they can bring in, but
Yeah, I don't know what's available. C.J. Henderson's already gone. Stephon Gilmore's already gone. Richard Sherman signed. I mean, what are you bringing in at this
shit. I'll do it right now. Call up. You can take Matthew Stafford and Jalen Ramsey, and I'll take Patrick Mahomes.
point?
I'll do that shit right now.
Then who do you have in your secondary then?
I don't fucking
Who cares?
care.
That's Patrick
You
Mahomes.
got Patrick Mahomes. Who did Patrick Mahomes have in the secondary when he won the Super Bowl? Nobody.
hold on. Doesn't that just go to? Well, I know you got AD. I know you got AD.
I think there's a difference.
Is-
It's Aaron Donald.
That's true. But wouldn't that just change the defenses? Kinda.
What do you mean?
Like,
Wouldn't he have the same problem, man?
Yeah. Wouldn't they
No,
have
because
right?
Aaron Donald makes up
We have
for
a
it.
way better defense with. I mean, we have Leonard Floyd. We have Aaron Donald. We have
Because think about
Darius
all you're
Williams.
doing is all you're doing is get rid of Jalen Ramsey. It's not like you're trading
Yeah.
multiple pieces of defense.
It's fine. It's fine, bro. You give him Jalen Ramsey, and we take Pat Mahomes. He already has 200 times better defense than what he had
I mean,
over there.
granted, it's never going to happen, but I understand Neil's
Yeah,
philosophy.
but would that secondary be like
He said, "Make
decent
that
with
call."
without Ramsey?
Jalen Ramsey doesn't play in the secondary this year.
He really doesn't.
I don't know what the fuck's going on, but Jalen Ramsey was on DK Metcalf for like 2 plays last week, and
He's like a robber.
he's playing what they call the star position, which is like an outside middle linebacker, and he can drop back into coverage and he blitzes. That's why
It's
he's
basically
always
just
up.
Playmaker.
Yeah,
No,
basically
that's that's that Madden shit. The Jalen Ramsey is that guy in the defense where you
Right, that
you
you
take
just
control over Madden and
Right.
pick
Yeah.
everything off. That's what they're trying to do. And
But he
that
doesn't
shit
even.
right
He
now-
doesn't. They don't throw the ball to him. I think he has 3 interceptions the past 2 years. He doesn't.
Well-
They don't throw the ball to him.
So if that's the case, you are better off just using him like that. Like,
That's
you
kind of
just
why
put-
they do it.
Because if you just put him on one side of the field, they're just not going to throw there, and he's kind of useless. At least now he's put himself in the middle of plays.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. But yeah, I mean just to get into that KC game, I said it 2 weeks ago because I wasn't on the podcast last week. But I said it 2 weeks ago that everybody got kind of jumped ship on KC, and I still think people are still going to jump ship on KC a little too early. When you have Patrick Mahomes and you have Tyreek Hill and you have Travis Kelce, anything can happen. And you're not going to play the Buffalo Bills every week. So Buffalo Bills,
Exactly.
I mean, they played in the AFC Championship, and it wasn't really a close game. Josh Allen made some terrible mistakes in that AFC Championship game. He's playing a lot smarter this year. I think they got humbled quick, right? Week 1 was a quick humbling. So if you want to lose week 1. And if you want to lose bad week 1. So you can get woke up real quick, right? Like you probably come in all hype, like, oh my God, we're going to go undefeated. Steelers whooped them in that week, right? Like this shit wasn't close. And I think that woke them up. I mean, how many points they let up to the Dolphins? 0. And then the Texans scored what? Did they score 0 too? Yeah. So I don't know, man. It is what it is. As far as the AFC goes, I still think the Chargers beat the Bills if it comes down to it. I could be crazy, but I think the Chargers have the best defense in the AFC. And I think if it comes down to it, Josh Allen will struggle with that defense.
Yeah, I'm all the way out on the Chiefs. They'll make the playoffs, but I'm not picking them to win their division. I'm not picking them to get to a Super Bowl. I mean, I've seen them lose to 3 playoff teams now that they're gonna have to go. They're gonna have to beat Baltimore. They're gonna have to beat the Chargers. They're gonna have to beat the Bills. I've seen them lose to all 3 of them, and I've seen them not look good against all 3 of them. I've seen them struggle against the Browns when they won. I've seen them struggle against Philly when they won. I'm out on them. They're going to make the playoffs, but they are not the Chiefs they were last year, and that's okay. It happens once in a while. Next year they might be the Chiefs they were last year, but this year, I'm done.
Do you think there might be a case where like they could struggle with the regular season and then find like that burst of momentum they need for the playoffs, like how Tampa Bay did last year when they like lost all their matchups to New Orleans?
Nah, kind of, sort of. But I think the difference is last year with Tampa Bay, they had a whole new team coming in, and Kansas City they had a new line coming in. But it's not the line isn't the only problem. It's just the team is the problem. Their defense is the issue, which it's not like they brought in hella defensive people.
And they don't have a running back. Edwards-Helaire is not a 4-down back. He's not, or a 3-down back, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, he's not an all-down back. That's damn straight.
He's not that guy.
He's not that guy. So
they looked real sweet last year. He's pew 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 pew.
Yep, rumor has it. Marlon Mack might be on the radar. So
I mean, you kind of notice in that game in particular, like when it comes down to it, KC really relies on the deep ball heavy, and they rely on Tyreek Hill to bail them out. Which, how many times has that happened in the past, right? Like it happens a lot. So obviously, what works, you keep going to it. But dare I say the defenses in the league have figured it out? You fucking bracket Tyreek Hill and see what happens. I don't know.
I don't know about that. I don't know about figuring it out because somebody gonna get boomed with it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just don't. I'm not out on the Chiefs at all. I still think the Chiefs are gonna make the playoffs. I think they'll go far in the playoffs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, like I said, they have a whole new offensive line that's still scheming to work together. Their defense is garbage, but you got to score 35 points to hang with them. And the Bills are scoring 35, and the Chargers maybe will score 35, but that's it really in the AFC.
But the thing we saw the Chargers do it already. We saw the Ravens do it already. We saw the Bills do it already. We saw the Browns do it already. So it's not like these are 4 teams that are going to have to play the playoffs.
Right.
My thing with the Chiefs,
playoffs is also different than regular season too.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We haven't seen them have regular season adversity.
When's the last time the Browns have went to the playoffs?
Last year.
And how'd they do?
They got to the conference, or they got to the round before the conference championship.
Do you think that they'll beat Kansas City in the playoffs this year?
I think it's going to be a good game. I think that we can't say it's an automatic Chiefs win this year, right. Especially if, let's say, the Browns win their division and the Chiefs don't, and the Chiefs have to go to Cleveland.
I mean, it was really competitive last year in that matchup. The Browns almost had an upset on the Chiefs, minus Chad Henne. But
I don't know. What I don't like is that long ass halftime. I think that fucked up the flow of the game. Also,
that should have benefited the Chiefs. The Chiefs were the team that were losing. You want that long layoff.
Yeah,
I disagree. You go into halftime losing and you come out with a whole new mindset. Like, all right, let's fucking go. Then you're just sitting in there and you're just like, damn, we're getting smoked. Like, do I feel like coming out right now? Like you start to second guess yourself a little bit. So I don't know. But I mean, I'm making excuses for the team.
It's a lot of excuses.
I've had that. I was supposed to. I've had that happen. The CBA Proctor senior year, we were whooping the dog shit out of CBA. Big upset. Going lightning out of nowhere. Sat in there and came back and got absolutely whooped.
That's what I'm saying. And CBA was the home team too, right?
Home team. Every single snap, every single down was like completely flipped game. So
away team, you're sitting in that smaller, cramped locker room. You're winning. You're on a high. The home team is sitting there in their padded locker room playing video games, getting hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, man. They said they were making peanut butter sandwiches on the broadcast.
Yeah, I said it was very bad, not well made peanut butter sandwiches, but hey.
Thanks.
I'm not a peanut butter sandwich fan myself, so yeah.
I'm just saying, man.
Super yikes.
Right.
What do you think about Lamar?
Starting
to look like MVP Lamar again, huh?
Player of the week, Lawrence Player of the week for a reason.
My thing is, this is my thing with Lamar, bro. Is like what he said. He just said to a reporter, like, basically, what do people want me to? They just want me to be like a certain person, a certain pocket passer. But how can you not respect him? He's playing the game that fits him, and he does it fucking well. Just because he's not a pocket passer and doesn't have 17 braces on his legs and can't move, people go crazy. Like, oh, he's not a pocket passer. Oh, he can't do this. Like, there was like several people during the game in the first half. Oh, he's playing shitty, fumbles the ball, all of that because he's running. It is what it is. Then they go silent in the second half. Well, keep that same energy.
Yeah, right.
While he's playing the same way, and he's executing the plays. So I don't know, bro. Like,
he doesn't have the team to pocket pass, really. If you think about it, he doesn't have the big slot wide receivers. He doesn't have the type of, I mean, even Mark Andrews is kind of a finesse tight end. Like, he's got a finesse team, and he has the type of team like you see Hollywood Brown does this shit. He breaks the pocket and he makes plays down the field. That's the type of team that he has. I would never expect Lamar Jackson to be a pocket passer. It takes away his best asset, right? Like, it's like telling your fastest player in baseball to stop stealing bases. You just don't do it.
I say it all the time. It would have been like if the Colts were like, we're going to run read options with Peyton Manning. You don't, like, why? His game is not to do that, right. So I'm not going to do that. Like, his game is to sit in the pocket and throw the ball. Lamar Jackson's is to get out in space, make defenders miss, throw the ball over the top. Why would I not utilize that? Like, I don't understand what the problem is there. Although I will say, I think that the criticisms have become less now that we've seen him win an MVP, he's won a playoff game. You're still going to have your haters, but I don't think it's as widespread as it was when he first came in the league.
Yeah. And then side note for the Ravens offense, Marquise Brown has his ups and downs this season. The Lions game, he dropped some passes, touchdown passes, and then some other games he dropped some touchdown passes. So I think when their rookie Rashad Bateman finally comes in like maybe a week or two, it's going to relieve some pressure off of Brown, and I think he's going to be a very good piece of the offense with Andrews and Brown.
Well, I think the last two games for Hollywood has been very good. I was gonna say, like, he looks like he wants the ball, and even in that game, if you saw Monday night, he was fired up after every single catch, even if it was 1 yard, 2 yards, it didn't matter. So, like, I felt like that was a good sign too. Seeing him when he gets his catches, he's amped up, he's taking hits, and he's not limping after every hit now too. So,
and he actually caught the ball,
right?
Yeah. And dropping people, making people touch earth.
Yeah, so, I mean, if he can continue to do that and stop, get the ball in space, he won't have to worry about being glass man, right?
And that's on the coaches too, to find them ways to get the ball in space and everything like that.
My thing with the Ravens right now is this, right? If this is what this Ravens team is doing right now with half their team tearing their ACL, what would have happened if they didn't lose anybody?
Right. That's the question, bro. That's where people talking about the Ravens ain't that good, da-da-da. But, that defense, when you talk about gambling, all they do is gamble all day, and that shit just works out for them. Like, it is the craziest shit. But, like, the Ravens, you had J.K. Dobbins. You're missing all the running backs. They probably can't even run everything they want to run. You got Latavius Murray right now. He's just there. He's just a placeholder right now. Like, he doesn't really have any explosion to his game. Like, imagine if they had J.K. Dobbins. Like, it would be a whole nother ball game.
I mean, Tyson Williams did a good job the time that he was in. I mean, that man's fast, right? He's got that quick, explosive. They have a good 1-2 punch with Latavius Murray and him, but I don't know. I mean, honestly, if I'm looking, like I said a little bit earlier with the Chiefs, if I'm looking at the AFC right now, the team to beat, obviously, is the Bills, right? And then
I don't think it's obvious. I think you can say the Chargers are in that conversation. I don't think it's obvious that one is way better than the other.
I'm taking the Bills over the Chargers for sure. Right now.
In what aspect?
They have just I think they have a complete team. I mean, they're top 3 in defense. They're top 3 in offense.
Okay, but now just to play devil's advocate with you, though, let's look at the teams that they've played versus the team the Chargers have played. So those numbers are going to be a little inflated, wouldn't you say, if they've played against
I thought we don't do that here. We don't talk about inflation of numbers and based off teams that who play.
Well, I'm doing that purposely because of our conversation we had in our group chat the other day. We use that as an excuse for why other teams are. Well, that's okay. They allowed more yards. They played better teams. Well, if that's the case, it has to go the other way. You're going to get more yards.
That should be allowed, though. That should be allowed. You got to tell the whole story. Because what we get to a certain point where that top three defense don't exist no more when they start playing actual good teams.
And that's just what I like.
What teams you want them to play? What teams you want them to play?
They go. No, I'm just saying.
Who makes the schedule?
They go and play the Chargers. You got to guard. They got to guard up. That's a long day.
Right. Like, look. I'm just saying. Like, look at what the Chargers have played, and they've won those games. Like, where's their schedule? They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Browns. They lost to the Cowboys. And who's the other game they won? But, like, look at the teams they're playing. Whereas the Bills beat the Dolphins, beat the Texans, lost to the Steelers. They did beat the Chiefs. I'm going to give them that. But, like, let's not act like their schedules are even so far. So, for you to say the Bills are clearly the best team in the AFC, I can't agree with that. I think there's a conversation.
Well, I'll tell you what. The Bills' strength of schedule is dead last right now for the rest of the season. So all they need to do is get through the beginning of their schedule, and that's it. Now they're literally set. They shouldn't lose another game.
Well,
but does that make a team the best? Because like if they play the Chargers today, you're saying it's hands down they're going to win the game just because they had an easier schedule?
No, I don't. I think it'd be a good game, but I think that they're the team to beat in the AFC right now. I don't think it's a hands down decision if they play one. You know, they play each other. But I think right now you can't look at what the Bills have done and think, nah, the Chargers are better than them. I can at least.
I do though.
Ooh. I think you can make an argument for both sides. I don't think it's outright, and I think for the reason
I can be swayed either way. I think, but
yeah. I think the reason for people saying the Bills outright is because of what they just did.
But the Chargers did the same thing 2 weeks ago. They beat the Chiefs too.
I know, man. All right, let's move on. Let's see what other games happened. What do you guys think about the Chargers and Browns game?
I think that it speaks to the Chargers they are this year what the Chiefs were when Mahomes first came out of the scene. Don't give them the ball. But it doesn't matter how many you score against them; they're going to outscore you if you allow them to have the ball last.
Honestly, that's game of the year for me. 80 combined points, back and forth, 2 game-winning drives potential. Fucking Herbert solidified himself as must-see TV, superstar quarterback. I love to see their head coach get the props that he deserves because nobody knew who he was when he was. I mean, the only reason they knew who he was because he was the defensive coach for the Rams and they had Aaron Donald. But people don't understand that he is a coach. He was a head coach in that locker room. Yes, you had Sean McVay, but you had him, Brandon Staley as well. And they're getting the love they deserve. And the Chargers were good, right? The Chargers were good in the past couple years. Everybody was like, where'd the Chargers come from? Bro, you look at the last couple years, they lost games. They didn't win games.
They were 13-3 or 12-4 one year, and the only reason they weren't talked about is because it was the year that Mahomes hopped on the scene. And then they had the whole Anthony Lynn debacle.
Yeah,
the Chargers weren't bad. They had 1 or 2 bad seasons in between. We forgot that they were like the 3rd best team in the AFC.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not even – think about what the team has gone through as well. I mean, you go from San Diego to Los Angeles. You're sharing they played in a fucking soccer stadium. They're sharing a stadium now, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, SoFi Stadium is nice, but they have a great head coach now. They've always had a good defense. Herbert is a fucking superstar. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. I mean, Mike Williams, has he always had this? Because he's a problem.
It was there.
Yeah, people needed a quarterback to unlock it for him.
He is a problem.
He's 6'4", and his speed is slept on.
And
I think people got him thinking that he's slow, but the boy, he be moving.
Let's talk about Austin Eckler. All right, let's talk about possible top 5 running back in the league, Austin Eckler.
Fantasy teams,
top 7. He's definitely a top 10 running back, and obviously coming into this year, it was always. I mean, last year he got hurt. He's small. He's a 3rd down back type shit. No, he is an every down fucking back, and he is a problem. He's making people miss. He's running people over. He's catching out of the backfield. He's good in pass pro. I don't know.
And shout out to the person that told Justin to stay back 1 more year too. Shout out to that person, whoever convinced him, because if he
you were almost a giant.
If he went out early, his career would have never been.
Who's Lewis talking about
but,
compared to
you-
Stevie Johnson? I don't know who's Stevie Johnson. Is he talking about Mike
If
Williams?
he's talking receiver, it's got to be Mike Williams,
Yeah.
which is a slap in the face to Mike Williams because Mike Williams was better than Stevie Johnson in college. But that's a conversation for a different day.
Stevie Johnson from the Bills?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, he had a crazy run though. He was like
Yeah,
the
for
league
like-
up that
for like
2-3
a year.
years. Yeah, like I think it was a year and a half, and then he got hurt.
He was a beast.
he was
He was a
like the
beast,
league up.
but
Nah,
a
Mike.
slap in the face. To Mike
That's
Williams.
That's another thing too. Is like the comparisons be killing me. Like, just let the players be who they are. Like,
No,
no
I can
one
understand
person-
it though, but like something like that, like where they don't have the same build, they don't have the same play type. Like, where is that comparison coming from? Like, that's from left field.
Wait,
I don't
Stevie
know.
Johnson, that was the dude. He had the why so serious underneath.
Yes. Yep.
Probably Mel Kiper thought of that.
But
Someone.
who would y'all compare him to? Mike Williams.
Honestly, I
There,
don't.
to me, there isn't really because
Yeah,
he's,
I mean-
he's a big body guy that moves, so you'd have to put him in the category with
I
like
like Mike
Julio's, the
Evans.
DKs and stuff, but he's not a Julio or a DK. Does that
I
make
like
sense?
a Mike Evans
Like that's the
comparison
build he
there,
is. But
kind of.
Said Mike Evans.
Yeah,
I think
a
he
little
can
bit of a
move more than Mike Evans.
He
comparison.
got Mike Evans is a stick figure.
that's what I'm
When
saying.
it
He
comes
can
to
move. That's
football.
why, like, he'd have to be in the category with the Julios and them, but he's not Julio or them.
Julio Light or something.
Not even. Like, but that's my point. Like, I can't even think of someone to put him. But
Nah, that team is, bro. You got
Stevie Johnson.
was it Perham, the backup tight end. You got Jared Cook. They're both pretty good. Same build, big targets. But one
they
thing
got-
about the Chargers, bro, they always
Rashawn
got
Slater.
these.
Rashawn Slater is fucking
Did you-
murdering it.
Did you see what he
yeah,
said?
let's pick in the draft.
Did you see what the reporter said about him in the game when they played the Browns? He said Eckler was chipping Myles Garrett, and Slater said, "Don't do that no more in the game," and then just took him one-on-one the rest of the game. Like,
Wow.
holy shit! So stop chipping him. I got him.
Yeah, listen, he's little boy Chase Young. He's little boy Myles Garrett. Like, he's a problem.
He's a fucking beast. And has Penei Sewell let up a sack yet? 6 weeks in, has he let up a sack?
Yeah, he's a problem too.
He's a
Like,
beast. He's 20
these
years
offensive
old.
linemen were not playing.
Where they at?
Sewell's in Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit. Okay, Detroit.
He should have been a
He's,
Bengal, but
he's Goff's left tackle. I think.
No, but guess what? It worked out well for the Bengals though because they're
Yeah.
doing well and
Jamar Chase is doing great,
edging the
so,
ball.
yeah.
Now, if Joe Burrow was like living on the ground, I'd say yeah they messed up, but nah, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. But what do you think about NFC? So we talk about the AFC enough. What about the
Yeah.
NFC? That's what we don't give. Fuck the Patriots. Let's talk about the NFC.
The NFC is such a toss up.
wouldn't even
It's
mention-
crazy.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
like-
It's hard because
That's-
honestly, I don't think the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC. I just don't think they are.
I agree, Neil. I said it all last week on our podcast. You weren't here. I was caping for your boys. To me, I don't care that they just lost to them. If they played tomorrow, I'm still picking the Rams. I think the Rams are still the best team. I just think that the gap is closer than we all thought now.
right.
I-
I agree with that.
I agree. But I cannot stand it. This happens every single year. Every single year. The Cowboys are all of a sudden Super Bowl favorites now. They win.
Listen.
They win 4 games, and now, oh my god,
Plus,
the
they have
Cowboys.
a pretty easy schedule coming up too.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they
Besides
beat
this
the-
week, but
What up,
you know.
Rick?
Yeah, please.
What's good, Rick?
If
What's
they
good?
beat
What's
the
good?
Patriots this week too, watch. That's all we're gonna hear is,
Oh
look, they
my god,
beat
they're 5-1.
Belichick. Like,
They're 5-1,
it's
guys.
like-
Holy shit, the fucking Cowboys.
Hey, listen. I'll say this about the Cowboys.
But Ellie, one sec before you go,
go
just
ahead.
let's just keep this one thing in mind when we talk about the Cowboys. All right, their defense is not good. Everybody's gonna bring up everybody that's listening. Anybody that plays this back, don't let anybody bring up the fact that Trayvon Diggs has interception in every game too,
Oh,
and that makes
boy.
he's a good
Look
quarterback.
at this. Look at this.
Oh yeah, wait. Let me
fucking-
let me pull up the numbers on it.
Oh,
He
so-
led
Trayvon
so
Diggs-
that's
Trayvon
another
Diggs
thing.
is the worst coverage cornerback in the league right now.
He lets
So
up.
all of us were
It's-
going to bring
it's
that up this week, huh? I was thinking the same thing.
Neil shared it. He allows the
He
most
allows
yards
the
or
most
something
yards.
Yeah.
He is historically going to allow the most yards
Yeah.
ever by a cornerback this year.
Most penalties too.
1,500 yards.
this season.
1,500 yards he's about to let up this year.
But
It's
you,
like
this
Warren
is
said, he's an opportunist. That's what he does. he takes too many chances, and it's paying off right now. But late in the year, they're going to be playing better teams with better quarterbacks, like a guy like Tom Brady, who's going to beat you and be like, oh, yeah, come on. He's going to beat you over the top every single time.
He said Kenny crushing the White Claw.
Oh, no, it's IPAs tonight.
Bro, yo, I meant to ask you, where the I was looking for what's the things we had?
High noons? Oh, those are at liquor stores.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's liquor.
Because there's vodka in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I was just went to price shopping before this and shit. I was gonna be sipping a little something. But yeah, Panthers are frauds.
Yes.
Panthers are frauds.
I don't know. So that's one team I'm not ready to jump ship on.
Yeah, because CMC is an injury prone motherfucker.
That's what. Okay, so that's what it is.
I still have them making the playoffs, but like not by much.
That defense is legit. I'm telling you, their defense is legit, and that defense is built to not be on the field as long as they are. And you know how they not be on the field that long? Christian McCaffrey gets 20 touches a game. Who have they been out with since the first fucking week? Christian McCaffrey. So I'm not ready to bail on the fucking.
But have you looked at what they have to play still?
I know they have a tough schedule. Plus they're in a hard division. But I just don't think.
I mean, I'm not saying the division's hard. I'm not going to go that far.
The division's not easy. I mean, they got to play the
Right,
Falcons can win any game they play. The Saints. I mean, the Saints are the Saints, and you got Tom Brady.
I'd say the Bucs are tough. The Falcons and the Saints are the same boat this year. We can win any game, we can lose any game.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give them that. But
so I mean, I don't know. I'm personally not ready to jump ship yet on them.
I never got on the ship. So
I
can't
disagree with that statement wholeheartedly. We are not in the same boat.
Why are we not in the same boat? Wait, why are the Falcons and Saints not in the same boat?
I'm not going to say this. I usually don't say nothing about the Saints, but don't speak on my team.
But how could that be?
We're not in the same boat. We're a better team than you.
Who's got better defense?
We do.
Okay, then who has a better offense? We do.
How close is it, Kenny? How close is their defense better than yours?
They allow more yards than we do. They allow 2 more yards than we do a game.
So we're bringing the group chat to Wizards. Okay,
I mean,
no, bro. I'm not gonna do this, bro. We have a better team.
We're the same team this year, whether you want to admit it or not.
I don't know, Lawrence. Y'all just lost your starting quarterback, so I don't know.
That's a fact.
That's you're dragging it now, like
I'm just saying.
You're completely dragging it right now,
bro.
Like
they lost their third down back.
Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, that was a crazy hit. I missed it because I was at flag, but that hit he took was pretty nasty.
That was nasty, and it didn't look good at all.
But he definitely won't be playing. Well, no, he'll probably be fine by the week 7? Probably
he got
be fine.
Pass the concussion protocol. So it wasn't good. Joe Burrow went to the hospital after their game.
Yeah, broke contusion. Said he couldn't talk.
Bro, his head smashed into the turf so hard.
Right. Yeah, and you had who else had a concussion? You had Daniel Jones that didn't know where the fuck he was on the field. That was a crazy hit too.
Who's this, Lawrence? Who's in the chat?
They were in there last week. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We got. I don't know. Let's get into pickems, Kenny.
Pickems already? Okay.
Last week's pickems. Let's hear them.
Oh, last week. So Lawrence and Neil had 12, so they gained one game. Phil and Kenny had 11, so Kenny still sits at first with 58. Phil's in second with 56. Lawrence is in third at 55, and Neil is in fourth at 53. So everyone, we're all within 5 games, so it's going to be close.
Good week last week, right? Not bad for me and Lawrence. 12. I mean, all of us really did well. 11 and 12 is pretty good. Out of how many games we pick?
Out of 16.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Now we're down to 14 games this week because of bye weeks.
Ooh.
Damn, Rick says I got no more PTO till the end of the year. I can't. No more weeks. No more days off.
No, sir.
You said Kenny always got the Bev on the pod.
He does.
Yeah.
He's always drinking.
He
No
said
rollovers.
No rollovers.
Fuck. Man. So we really didn't talk about the NFC. We just
Yeah, because you were talking about
You got into
Because you wanted to jump onto the
I was just
pickles.
responding.
I blame you
Right.
two.
No, I just didn't agree with his statement. That's it.
Right, but I asked for some backing up, and all you can tell me is
No.
we're not
He
listening.
just no.
See, here it
No.
goes again.
Hold
Here it
on.
goes again.
Hold on. Time out. I was getting ready to talk, and he jumped in and said, "Your quarterback is hurt," and then I had to address the concussion. He disrespecting the injured player. Like that's what we doing. But okay. But I think me personally, bro. At the end of the day, offensive line is way better than your offensive line.
100%.
You got the young tight end. His catch radius is crazy. He can do all that shit. You got Rid. Rid actually set out last week. He's coming back, obviously, again, because he had a personal issue or whatever. MT's coming back. Traquan Smith is coming back. I expect the offense to improve. I don't know about your offense being better than the Saints. I just don't know. I'm not gonna outright
I'm
say
taking
that.
my quarterback. I'd take half of Matt Ryan over Jameis Winston.
I respect that. You have history with him, so that's fine. I expect you to pick Matt Ryan over Jameis Winston.
I expect anyone with eyes to pick Matt Ryan over Jameis Winston. Like, I don't think there's a person who watches football that thinks Jameis Winston's a better quarterback.
Out of respect to Matt Ryan and his career, I'm just gonna agree with you.
So Jameis Winston's a better quarterback than Matt Ryan.
I didn't say that. I just said I agree with you.
Is he better than this
I said
year?
I said I agree with you.
It's
It's Matt Ryan. It's Matt Ryan. There's not enough for me to say Jameis Winston this year. I can't. I'm not naive now. I'm not gonna act crazy. It's not enough. Just go against Matt Ryan. That's just not. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be unrealistic now.
Bro, so what do we think about the NFC this year?
The NFC is gonna be what it is every year. The best conference in fucking the NFL. Every year, year in and out. It's gonna be a fucking battle.
The AFC is clearly the better conference this year.
You think it is?
Yes.
Well, I'm saying as a collective though. I'm saying as
Like
a collective.
top to bottom?
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm saying it's gonna be closer than. Do you think it's close? Well, hold on. Let me check. Because right now, what do we got?
You have the Rams, you got the Cardinals, you got the Cowboys, you got the Bucks.
Oh yeah, you got three.
That's really it.
You got three.
Right,
4,
versus
1.
you got the Ravens, you got the
teams who are
Chargers,
we got better.
you got the Bills, you got the Browns. The Bengals are turning it on this year.
We got the most wins out of the conferences though. I'm just saying.
It all depends, like, for me, who has the better bottom and middle half, because we all know the top heavy teams. All depends on who's after that, in my opinion.
Like I was saying, I feel like it's the NFC. I feel like it's always it's a battle every year. So
I think that the AFC's got it this year. In the NFC, you have the whole NFC West. Then you have your
But
Packers.
you really don't have the whole NFC West.
No, you don't.
You have two teams in the NFC West.
That's what I'm saying.
Russell Wilson
even
just broke his
better.
finger, and the
True.
49ers have no tight end. Kittle's
Yeah.
gone again, and they have no quarterback. Trey Lance is hurt.
Okay.
And
you got Chargers 4-1,
So that
Ravens
betters my
4-1.
argument then. That's
I'm
less than
agreeing
NFC.
with you. I think the
Yeah.
AFC is the better conference this year. And the AFC has been a better conference in the past 2 years, I believe.
You can argue that the NFC has been so tight because the better conference is the AFC.
Yeah.
So it's like, for example, last year, what was the most exciting conference in football? Was the NFC East, because they all stunk and were fighting for the playoffs at 7-9. They weren't the best. It was just exciting to watch.
Right.
Yep.
Technically, they had 4 contenders because all 4 of them could have made the playoffs.
So okay. So this is my thing. Are you guys going off of how you personally feel, or are you going off the wins currently right now?
I'm going off of my personal opinion on the
Personal feeling.
teams
Yeah,
in
I'm
both
with you.
divisions.
Okay. All right. I was just going off strictly the numbers, and we have more wins. So that's what I was going off of.
Well, then there's your argument right there, Kenny.
That's what it is. That's what I was going off
Based
of.
off
I
wins, the
wasn't
NFC
even-
is the better division.
I was
Right.
just. That's what I was going off of. But if you go and break it down, you could probably make an argument for AFC too. Like,
Well, you also have what? You have 2 teams that haven't won yet. You got the Jaguars and the Lions. Both haven't won a game yet, right?
mm-hmm.
Right.
So that kind of evens itself out.
Because you got Cardinals 5-0, Cowboys 4-1, Bucks 4-1, Packers 4-1, Rams 4-1, and then you got
Damn, that's
you got the Bills, Chargers, Ravens at 4-1. That's it.
Right, but then look at like Phil was saying, the middle of the pack teams. Like the NFC North has the Bengals are 3-2, the Browns are 3-2, the Steelers are 2-3. Versus you go over to the NFC, you have the Lions are 0-5, the Giants are still 1-4. Like,
I don't know. I don't know. That's
Seattle, Russell Wilson's out for 8 weeks now. San Francisco doesn't know who their quarterback's going to be because they're both hurt. Kittle's gone.
I think if you take the top teams from the NFC and you take the top teams from the AFC, I think you have an argument on the top teams in the AFC being slightly better than the NFC teams.
Well, for example,
I'm taking the Chargers over the Bucks. I'm taking the Chargers over the Cowboys. I'm taking the Bills over the Bucks. I'm taking the Bills over the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Like the 4-1 teams, like Green Bay has done nothing to impress me at all this year. Like they have fucking done nothing. They struggled with the Bengals heavy. They barely won that game. And Mason Crosby,
5 missed field goals.
Yeah, exactly. With 5 missed field goals, like Green Bay has done. Aaron Rodgers does not look like himself at all this year. He really doesn't. Devontae Adams bails him out constantly.
He looks like he's dragging through senior year.
I mean, granted, they don't have any wide receivers. I mean, Valdez-Scantling, his number 2 is on IR, and Lazard can't catch a fly. He's terrible. But still,
I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that the Bears have 3 wins and they've scored 84 points in 5 games.
That's pretty crazy.
Here's my last argument about.
I'm just looking at that right now.
Rick wants to know what happened to Kittle. He's on IR like he always is.
The Chiefs are, based on record, they're the 11th best team in the AFC, and I don't think they have a chance of getting out of the AFC. But if I put the Chiefs in the NFC, I would say that they're probably one of the top teams in the NFC, and I would give them more of a fighting chance. So to me, that's how I can base what I think the better conference is.
Okay. You guys think the Raiders take a nosedive?
Absolutely.
I think they were going to take one before all this, so now it's only going to make it happen fast.
Also, did you see Derek Carr respond to the Gruden thing?
No.
I think he said, "I love the man, but I hate the sin." That's what Adam Schefter posted as his official quote.
Adam Schefter, speaking of, just put out a press release also.
I think the NFL figured the Chiefs out.
No. I think they're having an
still got it. At the end of the day, you like figuring somebody out is one thing, but actually stopping it. Like people gotta go week in and week out, and you gotta stop. You gotta stop Kelsey. You gotta stop all of them.
This is the most turnovers Patrick Mahomes has had since his rookie year. So I think that's what's killing this team right now.
And let's think, like, did they figure him out? Yeah, but I think they figured him out the year that he came out. Like, you have to stop him. But like Lawrence said, you just have to execute it. And hope that they're having an off day.
Right.
Like,
it's easier said than done. Yeah, you have the perfect game plan, but you have to have players actually execute it.
I just look at the Chiefs right now as everything that can go wrong is going wrong for them. Right? They have no running game at all. Granted, they really don't have a running game much, past couple years, but they have something. They have had no running game this year at all.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes is turning the ball over at his career high rate, which you can't win. You cannot win if you give especially in the AFC with those high scoring offenses. You cannot win giving Josh Allen the ball at midfield. You cannot win giving Justin Herbert the ball at the 45-yard line. You can't. You just can't do it, especially with that defense.
What year is he in?
4th year.
Mahomes, 5.
4th or 5th? 4th or 5th?
5.
4th or 5th, yeah.
Because he didn't start year 1.
Right, but playing.
So he's 5th year in the NFL.
I'm talking about total. So 5 years.
5th year in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that Rick, you weren't here earlier, but I don't think they're figured out, and I don't think they're done. People are jumping ship too early.
Yeah, like if you saying this is 5th year, people are like, "What's going on with them?"
But 5 years in the fucking NFL, man. Like that's nothing.
There's people that's 9, 10 years in the league and they're dog shit, and it's just allowed.
Yeah, like think about like the way I think of like being in the NFL is I think of it like in high school, right? Like 9th grade, you're like, what the fuck's going on? 10th grade, you're like, okay, what the fuck's going on? 11th grade, you're like, all right, okay, and then midway through 11th grade, you're like, okay, what the fuck is going on? Even in senior year, you're like starting to get your head into shit, and you're like, oh, I got college coming up. What the fuck? So it takes a while, man. Like, you got to get acclimated to the league. Obviously, that's no excuse for Mahomes because he's MVP, Super Bowl champion already. But I just think, you know what, it could possibly be a Super Bowl hangover. We don't know. I just think they're getting slept on. Don't sleep on them.
It's a long season, man.
Long season
Right.
too. We keep
Keep
thinking
saying
about it.
that.
This is the longest season ever. How many? We got 17 games this year.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Fuck, man.
No, their defense
Over.
just scares me though. Like I'm just,
Right.
I can't.
And it's not.
rock
And
with
it's,
that.
at this point, it's not even. I feel like it's not even scheme at this point. Like I don't think you can even
No.
blame it on the scheme. It's like, yo, you're on the field, make a play. Like
Yeah, it's
And
bad.
the thing, like, and we've seen it for years, and they've been so good on offense that we've let it slide because they've gotten away with it.
Yeah.
But now that their offense is slacking a little bit, I guess you can say they're slack. By their standards, they're slacking. The defense is just becoming a big issue.
Bad.
Like they need Mahomes to score 40 points. Like before, it was like, all right, he's going to score 40. But now, like if he doesn't score 40,
How you
they're probably going to lose.
Right. It's true,
yeah,
man.
they got to score 40, mandatory. They don't score
Mandatory.
40. They
That's
might
not
lose.
sustainable. That's just not.
Yeah,
even
it's
for a
not-
historic offense, it's not
It's not
sustainable.
KC of the years past right now. That's for damn sure.
Right.
They're a far cry away from 53 points on a Thursday or a Monday night in LA. That's for damn
Right.
sure. Speaking of LA, how about Jared Goff? How about the Detroit Lions?
Yeah,
Can't
How
catch
many-
a break?
How many fucking breaks can a team catch, man, or not catch in their matter? I mean, a
Twice.
66.
That's the Chargers.
A 66-yarder to lose, another field goal to lose, 19 to
17.
19-17. They've lost like 3 games this year, 19 to 17.
Mhm.
And Jared Goff
Hey.
Jared Goff has one of the highest passer ratings in the league at 91. So it's not him.
Yep.
So
I don't
what's
think.
going on?
Yeah, he was 21 for 35, 203 with a pick.
Did you see the coach presser after?
Yeah, people are saying what a pussy. Like, no, man, he's a passionate
I mean, it's
coach.
passionate,
People like
yeah.
to
I like the coach.
That's the
too.
kind of stuff like players are going to go out there and play.
yeah,
their
they're gonna
ass
play
off
for him, and you can see they do that. Like every game they come out.
Like this team has already been in games they have no business being in, and it's because of a guy like him. Like this team, obviously they're 0-5, so I can't say they shouldn't be this good, but they shouldn't.
But they
be this
really
good. Like,
shouldn't be 0-5.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like they could easily be 3-2 right now. We'd be talking about, wow, what about the Lions? Like, and they shouldn't be this good. Like they got a worse quarterback. They're not
Losing.
really. They don't have many good skill position players. Like
That's
there's
Lost
nothing.
your starting DB too.
Yeah, like
they're
there's like
number 1 draft pick.
there's like nothing about this team that pops out to you, but yet every week they're in the game.
Maybe their run game and their O-line. That's about it.
Yeah,
But you know that's I follow people from Detroit now because Goff's over there, and they did some film on the skill positions over there, and it was like they created the least amount of separation in the league so far this year. Their skill positions, like they cannot break
No
away
Marvin
from
Jones,
DBs.
no Kenny Galladay.
yeah,
Nothing.
like,
I guess St. Brown is like the only wide receiver over there that knows how to like run a route pretty much.
Nah,
yeah,
he's-
like
turn tape.
he's their
You seen
number
him?
one receiver.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You seen him? Yeah, you
Plus,
seen
they're
him
probably
yet?
double teaming Hawkinson. So
He's good, man. St. Brown.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
good.
the problem with Hawkinson is Goff's not throwing him the ball. He's not finding him. So it's not like Hawkinson's not open. Goff can't get him the ball. So I don't know what's going on with that connection. He was supposed to be a safety blanket, his Cooper Kupp type safety blanket, but he's not throwing him the ball. I think Goff's going to figure out pretty soon if he wants to actually win a game this year, he's got to give Hawkinson the ball. Not fucking Quintez Cephas.
who is hurt right now at that. Like, so there's your other no-name guy who was his
Tyrell
go-to
Williams
target.
will be coming back. So yay.
Tyrell always plays about a game and a half every year.
I don't even know who that is.
He was on
Former
the
Chargers
Raiders,
wide receiver.
and then he was on the Raiders, but you probably don't remember him because he's been hurt everywhere he's gone. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's played a total of maybe like 12 games for the past 3
And the
seasons.
problem, you know what the problem is with the Lions? And I mean, who gives a fuck about the Lions, right? But the problem is with them, they can't run the ball because they're always behind, and that's where their
Right.
strength is going to be this year. They have 2 great running backs and an offensive line to boot with that, And you can't Goff. We've seen Goff struggle in LA with this, right? If he's not doing play action or on the move, he struggles. He under pressure, he's not good. He's a very shaky pocket passer with people on his feet. So this is a fucking recipe for disaster for Goff. No run game, and behind, yikes.
You said yikes.
Super yikes.
Respectfully.
Said respectfully. Hey Phil, what happened? What happened? You guys almost lost over there to the Texans.
Oh, that's close. Okay,
What happened?
Yeah, I mean, just a quick
Before you
recap.
do start, I'm gonna tell you a story. Had a flag game at 12, missed some of the Saints game, and I think like 6 or 7 of my teammates, Patriots fans, mad as hell the whole game we're playing. Patriots are losing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that game. Like, I'm like, make a play out here. Like, the Patriots suck anyway. And then they get back after the game. They're looking. They're over there pacing back and forth, rocking on the bench. They're watching the game. I'm like, yo, what's going on? They're about to lose to the Texans. So what was your takeaway for that game, man?
Yikes.
What happened?
Just a lot of, I was feeling the same way as your teammates were feeling. Just, the first half was scary, 22-9. I'm just thankful that the Texans special teams was disastrous that day, because if it wasn't for them, that probably would have been a big blowout.
What the fuck was that punt? What was that punt? Just punt the fucking ball. Why? What the fuck?
And he punted off his teammate's helmet, so that's even
Punt
better.
the ball. Why try all this shit?
I mean, for the Patriots standpoint, they made, like, I think Kenny said it, or someone in the chat said it, they made Davis Mills look like Justin Herbert or like an MVP candidate from that game, which I completely agree. 300 yards, a good percentage, 2 or 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, long neck looked good.
Hey, yo.
I mean, the Patriots did good in containing Brandon Cooks, but they let, a practice squad receiver beat him. The other players besides Brandon Cooks went off, so they did their part, but everyone else just went crazy. And Matthew Judon got 2 sacks. On bright side, I guess. He's been a great addition this season after getting paid all that money. I think he's had a sack in each of his last games. Every game he's played so far, so that's good. Jamie Collins got a sack after coming back from the Lions, so his third stint with the Patriots. Damon Harris got hurt, ribs injury, so
Rick is stupid.
whoever has Damon Harris on fantasy, I am sorry. I had high hopes for him this year, but as of right now,
Nobody has his bitch ass in fantasy. And if they have him, is his ass on the bench.
as of right now, I thought he was going to do good, but as of right now, he's had fumbling problems, health issues, so that's not a good combination for him.
If you had Damon Harris, you should have sold high.
Yeah,
That was not
Sony
sustainable. You guys
Michel.
are not going to be in games.
Sony Michel.
Yeah,
And, now
Sony.
the only healthy Patriots running backs are Ramon J. Stevenson,
No, he's
rookie.
hurt.
He's hurt too?
Yep.
Oh. So now it's
Sounds like that Sony Michel trade was terrible.
J.J. Taylor and Brandon Bolden. Right.
Yikes.
So
Look,
A
if
32-year-old running back at that.
If Deshaun
Yikes.
Watson's playing quarterback for the Texans right now, they're probably 3-2 and in the playoff hunt. Like, that's what's crazy about this Texan team that was supposedly, I was told, is the worst team in football. That's what I was told all
Right.
offseason.
Because they stayed in the game with the Panthers, right? Didn't they?
No, they stayed in the game with the Browns.
The Browns.
the
Yeah,
Panthers.
Yeah,
the
the
Panthers.
Panthers
game was close,
they
too.
lost 24-9. I mean, it was close, but
It
the
was-
Panthers
Oh,
were
it was
lucky.
close to like the first half. And
Yeah,
then
it
the
wasn't
second
bad.
half.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, but they were close with the Browns. They got smoked by the Bills, and then obviously this so they could easily have 3 wins.
Yeah.
Like they're
Also-
1-4, and if they have Deshaun Watson, they're probably 3-2 and looking at making the playoffs.
They have
Also-
Tyrod Taylor.
But yeah, if they had to, even that.
Also, side note, I know it doesn't matter to anyone because we know this podcast isn't like kickers, but Nick Folk, AFC
It
Special
was a
Teams Player of the Week.
bad.
Phil, it doesn't matter, bro. You act
That's
like
what I
Nick Folk
just
is
said.
good. When the game is on the line, he can't be relied on. It doesn't matter.
You know what does matter, though, Kenny? Kickers matter.
Right, but I mean,
After
like,
last week, After last week,
do you care
fucking
that
matter.
Nick Folk was offensive player of the or special teams player of the week after he had a chance to beat the Bucks and he missed it? I don't.
Yeah, but
that doesn't. You don't.
that
redeem
was a
yourself
hard
for
kick
that.
for any kicker to make. To be honest,
I don't
minus
care.
Tucker.
No, you get paid to make field goals. If it's not
Right.
66 yards plus, you have to make the kick.
56 yards in the rain.
I don't give a fuck if it's snowing outside.
Your coach put you out there. It's like if he had 0% chance making it, they wouldn't have called
You know
for
what's
a
a hard?
kick.
You know what's a hard kick? 59 yards in the NFC Championship against the number 1 team in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl, and Greg Zuerlein banged that shit in. Get the fuck out of here, Saints. The fuck out of here.
Aggressive for no
Get the
reason.
fuck out of here.
Why did it automatically turn to the stage for talking about the Patriots?
Because this one always
Get the
always
fuck outta
happens.
here.
No, I think the point he's making, that was a pressure kick. He's saying.
That's a pressure kick.
Yeah.
Right, but did he face any weather
Just,
conditions?
Phil is just really trying to justify the fact that last year we asked for an offensive X factor, and he said Nick Folk
Nick
is
Folk.
the X factor.
Nick Folk.
When he doesn't even play offense, first of all,
Mid-tier.
that's what. So Phil is just always going to try to compensate for that, and I'm not letting him have that. No, it doesn't matter.
I can't believe I'm banned on Facebook though.
I
I'm
can
mad
believe
as
it.
hell.
It's the
Fucking
Neil's fault.
bullshit.
You pull up box
That's
scores on
all.
NFL.com, they don't even have kickers. They don't even show you the kicking stats.
That's the
So
second
shows you how
strike
on my
important your
account.
special teams player of the week is.
They should. I should.
Right,
You know what, next time, if Nick Folk has a great week, he's gonna be my player of the week. Fuck it.
Kickers
I mean,
don't matter, Kenny.
Come on, say Young Hoku was your highest scorer last year.
And I got on the podcast pissed about that, right or wrong. That we shouldn't be
Right.
celebrating that. That's awful. Your kicker should not have the most points. You should not be happy when your kicker is breaking records for scoring the most points, because that means the rest of your team sucks.
Fair enough.
You're kicking field goals instead of scoring touchdowns. Why is that something that should be celebrated?
Oh,
We got to the red zone. We didn't score a touchdown though. Then I don't give a shit.
That was
Yo, so
advocate.
let me ask you something before we go to pickems in a little bit. What y'all think about the Vikings?
Better than their record indicates, because they've been right in games too.
Guess what? The Vikings have the hardest strength of schedule for the rest of the season.
Also, I think Adam Thielen has been very inconsistent this year. I just feel like he hasn't been there as much as Jefferson has.
Kirk
Also,
Cousins,
Dalvin Cook.
Kirk Cousins is not
Same
a
problem
good
as always.
quarterback.
Yeah, I'm blaming that on Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback. If you put
You like that?
let's for example, I hate to keep using it, but why not? If you put Jared Goff in that offense, it's a better team than if you have Kirk Cousins there. And this is coming from a quarterback who has yet to win a game without Sean McVay as his head coach. Say what you will, but I think that's what I think personally. I
Who's
think
their-
Kirk
who's
Cousins
their
is
backup?
I mean, Kirk
Bad
Cousins is
quarterback.
balling out this year, though.
That's what I was gonna say.
He was putting up numbers this year. Like,
just not a good quarterback.
I mean, historically, yeah, I'm agreeing with you, but this year I can't say that he's necessarily the issue. I just think that they can't close out games.
You think it's just a team thing or just like specific players? Like
It's definitely not specific players. Just that
They also don't have Delvin
it
Cook.
happens. We saw it last year with the Chargers. We're seeing it with the Lions too.
And
Sometimes it
they
happens.
they beat the Cardinals.
Also, I think that's every year. I think the
Bengals.
the Vikings should be wary that they may not have Dalvin Cook for a full season.
Listen,
for every
the
season.
Vikings did all they needed to do for the next 20 years. Diggs down the sideline. That's all they needed to do.
And back to
That's it. Ever since
Because
that,
Lord knows if them boys won that thing. Oh my
That was
gosh,
the
y'all
Super Bowl.
motherfuckers wouldn't have heard the end of it. I swear that. Oh my goodness.
you motherfuckers, you mean Woodman.
You too.
I don't give a fuck about you. We
You
did
keep
what
talking.
we had to
You
do.
you just brought up the Saints
We
two
did
times.
what we had to
so
do.
you talking about? I don't give a fuck about you. You just brought up the Saints unprovoked two times.
Besides
Y'all
your,
would've lost
besides
Nick
your,
Foles
Two times.
besides
Two
your
times.
besides your slant man Marcus Peters dusting, you haven't done shit against the Rams the past 4 years. So fuck out of here. I ain't worried. You have a nice plate of gumbo with your ass. How about that?
Field goal, Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Shut up.
Bang. Field
Shut
goal.
up.
Field
That's
goal.
it.
Field
That's
goal.
it.
Into the
That's
Super Bowl.
That's
What'd
it.
you do after that game? What y'all do after that game?
What did you do when you got into the Super Bowl?
It doesn't matter. We got to the Super Bowl. What the fuck did you do?
What
the fuck did y'all do? Y'all went to
we were at least
Cancun.
in a position.
He said in the
lead. Oh wait, wrong team.
He's the wrong team. All right, listen, we're not gonna do this right now, cause you just unprovoked, bro. You can't help it. You want to do this every show, but there's no window for it.
Take that jersey off that ball.
I gave you no. I won't.
You can throw the ball further than him.
We have visual proof now.
On IBTE Network and IBTE Sports.
He said, "Here we go with the Saints." Nah, bro, this is what I be talking about. I don't be saying nothing. I be asking about everybody's team, how they feel about their team, how they feel about this team. I don't talk about the Saints because as soon as I do, it's punching bags.
What is a positive for Seattle right now? What do they have to do until Russell gets back? What do you expect Gino to do? Win one game?
He's out for a month and a half.
They said
They say he could come back in 4 weeks. Pro Football Doc says he could come back in 4 weeks. Let's say 4 to 8 weeks. That's his timetable.
But they also said that they're trying to not make it long term. So his ass is going 8 weeks.
Ooh.
So
what's their schedule look like?
I'm pulling it up right now. They got Pittsburgh this week.
They got Pittsburgh on Sunday night.
I think they lose.
Yeah.
Because they got to go to Pittsburgh. Gino's first start. I think they lose that one.
I wouldn't be so worried about the offense against Pittsburgh as I would be
the defense. Yeah.
the defense.
That's what I was gonna say. I think they need to have the defense needs to play better.
Yeah, because you're gonna really see what Seattle is right now without Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Then they got the Saints next week, which honestly the Saints should win that one too.
The Saints should win that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they got the Jags. They could beat the Jags. I'll give them that.
They could beat the Jags.
Then they got a bye week. So if Russell Wilson does come back,
if he goes 1-2,
right.
That's a W for me if I'm Seattle.
I think that Seattle needs him to come back after that because then they play the Packers. You're not beating the Packers.
Got to play the Rams again.
Then you got the Cardinals week 11.
Yeah.
You're not beating the Cardinals with Geno Smith. Then you got Washington. You'll be competitive.
Maybe.
With them.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think
Niners, depending on what their quarterback situation is, if they're at 75% health.
Niners stink.
But if they're at 75% health, I'm giving the edge to the Niners.
We got to think about this too. Once he gets back,
what's he gonna play like?
Exactly. That's his on his throwing hand. So
I mean, he was ready to go back in Monday or Thursday night.
That hand, his finger was pointing straight down. It was pointing straight down. He could not go back in.
They're just gonna put a splint in that bad boy. He'll be all right.
You know what's funny is that both quarterbacks dislocated their fingers that game. Both quarterbacks popped their fingers out that game.
He threw one pass that had it out.
He did.
Yeah, it was not good. Yeah, I would agree. I think if Geno Smith can win one game, Geno Smith looked really good against the Rams at the end of the game, right?
Oh, no doubt. I'm not saying he didn't.
I mean, he ran the offense well.
But the thing is, we all know the Seahawks have only been relevant because of Russell Wilson. Like, I'm not saying that Geno Smith can't be competent, but you need more than a competent QB. You need a superstar QB to make that team.
Also, game was on the line, and what did he do? He threw a pick. So, he had a chance to win.
Well, I feel like it was the route that was ran.
Tyler Lockett tripped.
Yeah.
But it is a pick. So.
It's a pick.
No, it definitely is. It definitely is a pick. But, like, I'm not going to sit there and bash him like, oh, he can't handle the pressure. Like, his receiver fell on the route.
Yeah.
It happened.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
He was low-key dotting it up, though.
He did look.
He left down the DK.
He went 98 yards.
Listen, he was a talented quarterback. Like, he just was overdrafted and overhyped. That was the only problem with Geno Smith.
He went. I mean, his first drive against the top 10 defense in the league, he went 99 yards against them. So, started in his own end zone. Now, what they really need is Chris Carson to come back. If they can get Chris Carson to come back, then that run game will alleviate a little pressure off Geno.
Well, it depends how the offensive line performs.
Chris Carson, Dalvin Cook. What's the difference?
There
isn't run. They're always hurt.
Injury prone.
Seattle hasn't drafted a good running back in ever, I don't think. Besides Marshawn Lynch and Sean Alexander.
They didn't draft him.
Yeah, exactly. When's the last time Seattle stinks, all right? They fucking suck. I'm sick of them. Get them the fuck out of here.
49ers stink. Seattle stinks. Cardinals
stink. They fucking stink. I told y'all back when remember when the 49ers got put in the top 10 over the Cardinals And I was like, why the fuck would they do this? This was like week 2 or week 3. And everybody was like, what do you mean? This is the 49ers.
Right.
And Cardinals, way better than the 49ers. 49ers been fraud since day one. Get them the fuck out of here. And I still don't think the Cardinals are that good.
Everyone.
And I'm not going to say the Cardinals aren't that good. I just don't think the Cardinals are the best team in the NFC. Like, to say they're not that good is ridiculous.
They're not that good.
They're not the best team. I'll give you that.
They're not that good, guy. They're not those guys.
Oh my goodness.
But if they beat the Rams again, then they will be those guys.
Kyler completing 75% of his passes. They're gonna be fucking hard to beat.
He ain't gonna do that all year.
I'm just saying. I can only speak for right now.
And I'm just saying he's not going to do that all year.
75%
Flip it
through 5 games. That's all I'm saying.
Flip it.
Long season.
Long season.
What's
Well,
their
the
favorite?
thing is, listen. The thing that's funny with you, Neil,
What?
is every point that I bring up. If it was a Rams player, you would go, yeah, 75%. Matt Stafford, yeah,
No
baby,
way.
through 5 games, he's
Bro,
the best in
I
the
literally
league.
just go back
It's
and
bullshit.
scroll up.
Everything
go
is
back-
bullshit.
Go back and scroll up in our
Bullshit.
group chat, and you see what I said.
Bullshit.
Early season, way too early to be comparing apples to apples.
Bullshit.
All right, it doesn't even fucking matter. 5 games, 6
With you,
games
bro,
in,
that's what it
stats
is.
don't matter.
Hope everybody sees that, though.
Stats don't matter right now.
I mean, we're a quarter of the way into the season. When could you start to use
10
them
games in.
your arguments?
7 games in. 6 games in.
Nah, we next week or week 7, bro. It's time.
That's like
time.
we're going into week 6. Like
Yeah.
you've now played 5 games. Like that's enough of a sample size for me to get somewhat of an idea. Like you can't tell me I have to wait. No, we're 5 weeks in. Like what are you saying to me?
People are separating themselves right now. So I say week 6 or 7. After that,
I mean, bye weeks are starting. That tells you right there. Like we're into the thick of the season. I don't start the bye weeks until you're in the thick of the season.
Yo, Rick, I got Christian McCaffrey up for grabs. I got players up for grabs.
Don't do that.
How did everyone do a fantasy this week?
Don't do that.
How'd you do, Phil?
Terrible. They won the league.
I'm just wondering how many wins you have in that league.
Did I score 100 points yet? I think if I carried that team over to this weekend, I still wouldn't score 100 points.
I'm 0-5 in one of the leagues, and I
Nah,
whooped
Jack really scored like 64 points or
He
something.
ended up putting up 71 because Carson Wentz bailed him out. But yeah, he went into that game with only 40 points.
That's pretty crazy.
Crazy. For somebody that was like, my team is good. I'm not trading you. Peasant.
You are a peasant.
I'm just really upset.
Imagine not get.
I'm upset the Falcons are in a bye week this week because I definitely was gonna not put a quarterback in my super flex and still beat Phil.
Yikes!
But now the rest of my team is on a bye, so I have no choice.
What league is this in? What league
Armchair.
Armchair. Okay.
So because I have Russell Wilson, obviously. So
what do I have in Armchair? I'm trying to think.
So the IBTE Fantasy Football League, we're not done with it. 5-1.
So all my players on a bye week or hurt, so I have no choice but to play Geno Smith. But I really wanted to play no quarterback and still beat Phil. So let the people know.
I think either way is impressive. With no quarter, if you get beat him with Geno, you should pack the season up. The season should just be folded up. Like, get Phil out of here. For sure, bro. I feel bad for you, bro. Like, you lose Geno in the super flex, it's over for you. Fire sale. you and Neil might as well be like farm teams. You just trade each other every week.
Neil was at the mercy of Christian McCaffrey, and that's the problem when you have the number 1 overall pick. You're at the mercy of that player. If that player goes down, you're screwed.
Yep. Happened last year,
Brett's
too.
side, the other league, though.
I don't give a fuck about either of these leagues, honestly. If I'm being honest, I don't give a fuck about fantasy football.
Things losers say.
I hate to bring it to y'all. I say this every week.
Is
Fantasy
anybody gonna call him out?
The worst fantasy sport.
The
worst fantasy sport.
Can you please say something? Can you please say something to him, please? Because like, how long are we gonna let this go? Like, because if he was winning, he'd be talking crazy.
Because after
he'd
week
be talking
one,
crazy, bro.
When he first got the first pick, he was hype. Then after he drafted his team, he was hype. After week 1, he was hype. And then slowly but surely, his team just kept,
No.
going like this.
Especially,
fantasy
especially,
football sucks. This one
especially a person that is just treating and acts like cheating in fantasy leagues.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Like you feel me? Like
Man.
you shouldn't be talking about anything with fantasy.
There's no
you should be happy that we allowed you to be in there.
There's
with
no such thing as bad
such
press.
a record.
No
with
such-
such a record.
There's no such thing as
that
bad
me
press.
and Kenny allowed you into this league.
No such thing as bad press.
Cheating.
I repeat, there's no such thing as bad press.
I mean,
all I know is no one is as bad as our dear friend Nick Bruzace. We can all acknowledge that. Nick is just bad at fantasy football this year. Like, that team may never win a game.
Also, you can go back and look if y'all want to. If anybody wants to go on my Twitter, search my name and then search fantasy football and scroll through, I don't know, probably about 200 tweets. You'll see the record shows. Let the record show that I have been saying fantasy football is the worst fantasy sport for years. It is the worst.
It's obviously the best, just to make sure everyone understands that.
It's the worst.
It is.
Let me ask you though. When you were tweeting that, were you winning in those games?
I've won many fantasy football leagues. It's still the worst.
Why is it the worst?
Everything. There's literally, it's awful.
Okay.
You would go into deeper.
Yeah, like I asked you, that doesn't explain anything.
It's the fact that you can. First off, injuries. The worst in the NFL. You can
because they don't get hurt in the NBA.
No, I didn't say that.
They just don't take days off.
Bro, I
can't
can't even speak. I can't even finish my sentence.
Because you're going to talk about.
I can't finish my sentence.
Kawhi Leonard don't play back to backs.
I can't finish my sentence.
Go ahead, Neil.
So you talk about fantasy basketball players. You know, for example, that Kawhi Leonard is a guy who takes days off. You know that people get rested in the NBA, so you just don't draft those players, or you draft them later on. Fantasy football, for example, you take Christian McCaffrey with the number 1 pick, bang, done for 6 fucking weeks plus, and that can happen with any player you take in the first round, second round, third round. It's just the.
Because in basketball,
hold on.
No, Lawrence, you're forgetting. In basketball, I don't get hurt like that because, like, if you take Luka number 1, that guarantees he's not going to get hurt all season.
I mean,
because basketball is better. Right?
You have a better chance of getting hurt in football than you do in basketball.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this: you decided to fanboy out on CMC, knowing that he's injury prone as fuck.
Bro, what are you talking about? If you had the first pick in the draft, obviously
No.
your ass right now, your bitch ass is going to say you're not going to draft him. Right now you'll say that.
I
Of course
wouldn't
you
have
will.
took him because all he does is get hurt.
Whoa,
What has he
the fuck
done?
is going on in this chat right now? Get the fuck out of here.
What the hell?
We need a moderator in the chat.
What the fuck is going on? I blocked it.
Get it out of here.
But
No, Neil is right. If you had the number 1 pick, you had to take McCaffrey, which is why I would have tried to trade my number 1 pick.
We could have done that. We could have traded picks.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, because we talked about. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, you can trade picks.
I've won more fantasy football leagues than I've won fantasy basketball leagues, and I will say to this day, fantasy football is the worst fantasy sport.
You're not winning fantasy
That's
basketball
good
either.
to say, but that's just not true.
Well, everybody has their own opinion, isn't it? Correct
That's
or
right.
no? Okay then.
Speaking of fantasy basketball, we're making a league.
Yes, we have a
7-2.
league. Hit us up for a link to the 0 people that are watching this stream right now. Hit us up for the link to fantasy basketball.
We got 2 people right now.
What's going up and down?
2 of your boys, I think. Oh. Quick commercial break.
Owen said fantasy hockey.
Fantasy hockey.
Oh, my fault.
Actually, Owen, I actually did dabble in fantasy hockey. It's not that bad. You have no idea what you're doing. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, no, you have no idea what you're doing.
Somebody who actually likes it, yeah. Like, you know what positions to draft and who to draft and shit like that. It's actually not bad. It's pretty fun, like the way the scoring works and shit like that. It's not bad.
So, which one is the worst fantasy sport?
Fantasy
In y'all's
football.
opinion?
I just
Kenny?
said it.
Lawrence?
They're not going to agree with that. They fucking.
I
It's
know,
not,
I'm-
it's not
I'm-
fantasy
I'm-
football.
I'm
I'm
not
asking
going to
there-
comment on that because I don't know. Like, I don't
I
even
can't-
understand basketball.
That's
so-
I can't decide between baseball and basketball, but it's not because they're not good, just because I don't like them as much as I like fantasy football.
It's because you like the sport football more than you like the sport of basketball. and
That's not
baseball.
true. That's not true.
That you watch fucking fantasy basketball is trash. Bruce Ace, hop in the league this year. All right, if
He
it's
was in
trash,
last year. He was in last
He won
year.
all
last-
right,
he won last
exactly.
year.
Hop in this year. Let me get a donation.
He won last year. How could you say that to him? He won.
He won last year. Yeah, he became the
I don't watch basketball. One last
Let me
year's
get a
league.
donation this year.
Remember the top 5 were like me, you, Kenny, and
All right.
Nick?
All right, Kenny. Let's get to these pick'ems, bro. At this point, because right now we
I dropped
got
him,
we got this crazy motherfucker that came into the chat. Like, we over here. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So what?
All
I
right,
didn't
so
see it.
we're gonna do our 4
You
games.
didn't
this
see
week.
it?
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it
So,
after.
yeah, it's some
Okay.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
We'll start with a light one, but I think it's actually going to be one of the more exciting games of the weekend. Minnesota at Carolina. Both teams are kind of like in the same situation. I'm going to go with Minnesota. I think that they're just they've been in too many close games, so I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Carolina. I think they through game. Well, they messed up in that game with Philly. After that comeback, they're pretty pissed off. I think Sam Darnold needs to bounce back. DJ Moore needs to bounce back. And is McCaffrey playing this game? Yes or no?
Potentially.
Yeah, he's gonna
there's-
play this
There's
game.
been no word, but
He's gonna play
Yeah.
this game.
Yeah, I think the Panthers won a close one. So I'll go with them.
I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I don't need the Panthers to win another game.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I think Darnold comes back this game. I think CMC comes back in this game. I think the addition of Stephon Gilmore really shows out well in this game. I'm
Basically,
gonna go,
week 7.
Huh?
Week 7. That's when he gets off the IR, I believe.
Oh, he's on the IR.
Mm-hmm. He's injured.
Yeah.
He's not back yet.
I think he's making the debut next week.
Is he playing or no?
Next week he is.
So this week
This week he's
No.
out. Next week he's
he's
back.
out this week.
Yeah, so week 7 he's coming back.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So in that case, I'm still going with the Panthers. All right. The Vikings, I think, are not as good as people think they are. Get them out of here. Let's go, Carolina.
that leaves. Oh, Lawrence already won.
Yeah, that
Next
could be
game
short
we're
and
gonna
sweet.
go with is. We'll go with Arizona at Cleveland.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good game. Oh my! Guess who's favorited right now?
Cleveland.
Kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
They're in Cleveland.
Yeah, but
Okay.
still.
I went first last time, so
All right, I'll go.
I'll-
surely will.
I'll go. I'll go Cleveland by a point. Fuck the Cardinals.
What's the line?
3 points.
I'm gonna take Cleveland as well. I think this is where the Cardinals' momentum stops for a bit. So I think the Browns steal a game here.
Yeah, I'm going Cleveland too. So Arizona is not going to go 17-0, so they have to lose to someone. And Cleveland is a good team, and they're at home, so Cleveland.
Shit.
I agree.
I'm gonna
Who
be
you
that
got?
guy. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna pick Arizona. For fantasy reasons, got D Hop, got Edmonds, got James Conner, got Kyler. So I need them to go crazy and win.
Not too crazy as we're playing each other this week in the other league. So not too crazy.
No, you're done for.
Thanks.
I mean, like they can put up a lot of points and still lose.
I think.
Lawrence is buying into the Cardinals this year, like he did with the Seahawks last year. Just every week he's
In
gonna
Russ
pick
we
'em.
trust. In Russ we trust.
No, I have a reason. I have a reason to though. They're on my fantasy
Bad
team.
toddler.
That don't mean nothing. I got dudes on my fantasy team who are on terrible teams.
Baby
I know they
Yoda.
ain't gonna win.
But I need these guys. Like, if they don't show up, then I fucking lose every week.
Baby Yoda.
Plain and simple.
What else you got, Kenny?
I'm saving this one of them for the last one. I'm trying to figure out what our in between games going to be here. We'll go with, another random one. Vegas and Denver, because they're both like the same team this year. Like, are they going to be a contender? Are they not? The answer is no to both. But
Let's see. It's in Denver. Denver wins this game by a couple points. I think the coach switch up is definitely going to fuck with this team. And I just don't think the Raiders are good. I mean, they're good, but they're not that good. The coach change might actually do one of two things for them. They're going to come out and be like, fuck the world. Let's go, man. Let's fucking... Or they're going to come out and just get smoked, right? We've seen this happen before with coach changes.
there's literally no in between. Like,
Yeah, it's like you're going to come out and get smoked. You're going to come out and just go off. I don't think they come out and go off. So especially against Denver's defense, it's in Denver too. Like I said, so that high altitude is always good for the home team.
I agree with.
We just saw them struggle with Chicago last week too, and they lost. I think it's Denver. I mean, Denver lost to Pittsburgh, yeah, but they played Pittsburgh tough. I'm going with Denver.
I got Denver also. I just think they're going to win. I think the coaching thing is going to affect the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Denver as well. I agree with all your points.
Yikes.
I wanted to go Raiders to break
Welcome,
my tie
Vegas.
with Kenny, but
Well, the Denver, you can mark that one down as Denver losing.
Yep. And the last one, which I think is going to be the game of the week, and I wish they could flex
What's
it,
good?
but they probably can't flex it because CBS gets to lock certain games. But the Chargers at Baltimore. Oh, boy. Justin Herbert versus Lamar Jackson.
Yikes. It's a good game.
So let me ask you something. Baltimore pulls this win out. What does that mean?
What do you mean? What does it mean?
Yeah, I don't
What does it mean? Like if they win this game, what do y'all think that would mean?
yeah, are they favorites
they beat
or?
They beat a contender in a regular season game.
Right. I mean, I think what you're trying to get at is you want us to admit like they're like good or a contender, but I don't.
No. I'm not
I
putting
don't
words
know
in your mouth.
I'm trying to
the
understand
Ra-
what you're getting at. Like they're
if the
already
Ra-
like even if they lose, they're still a contender. I guess I don't understand where you're going with this.
is this a statement game for them?
Yes.
I mean, yes and no, but if you are a contender and you're playing another contender at home, it's a game you should win anyways. So I don't know if you can call it a statement win.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I just feel if you're at home.
No, I
and you
just
think
I was
you're
just
still a
asking the question.
contender, you should win the game. To me, the statement win was beating the Chiefs earlier in the year.
Okay.
I think this is a huge game for Baltimore. The problem with this game is going to be for Baltimore. If they win this game, they're going to be like, they were at home. They're contenders. They should win the game. But
That's
if
what
they
I'm saying.
lose this game, they're going to be like, oh my God, Baltimore frauds. Well, look at Lamar Jackson. Like da. So it goes both ways. Sadly, that's how the optics go when you're playing at home. I think the Chargers win this game though. I think they had the better team overall. I think their defense is fast enough and smart enough to contain. I mean, Brandon Staley, for example, is going to contain Lamar Jackson, or at least try to. It's not easy, but he's going to do his best. And they have the defense to do it. So I'm going to go with the Chargers here. I'm going to go with the Chargers by a field goal.
I don't think that if they lose, they're necessarily considered frauds, though. I mean, just
I'm not saying
That's
we
how the media is
would
going to
think
react. That's
that,
how I was
but
going to say that.
I don't see. And I don't think that that's true at all. Because I think the media is so high on the Chargers this year that they're just going to talk about how great the Chargers are. I think the Ravens will be an afterthought if they lose this game. It's just how I'm looking at it, what I think. I think if the Chargers win, which I'm picking the Chargers to win, all you're going to hear about for the next week is how great Justin Herbert is, and you're going to hear which there's a changing of the guard in the NFC or AFC West, and there's a new top dog. There's not going to be anything negative about the Ravens. It's going to be all praise about the Chargers.
Who's the betting favorite right now?
Ravens.
Ravens. By how much?
2.5, I think, or 3 points. It's a home game, so it's probably 3 points.
Yeah.
The lines will go up and down. It's only Wednesday.
Yeah. Based on injuries and all that other shit. I'm
gonna
going
go with.
Oh,
Go,
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 go.
go, go. I'm gonna go with Baltimore in a shootout. This has all the makings of a game of the year, game of the week type of game. Anyways, two explosive offenses, two reliable, decent defenses. It all depends who's gonna be the better defense. I think Baltimore is, so I'm gonna go with them.
Neil, next asking what are these picks because we all picked against Vegas. That's all that is. He's a Raiders homer.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought he was
exactly.
actually questioning it.
Yeah, and I can hear Nick. I can hear Nick in his in his own voice. What are these picks?
Why the fuck are you a fucking Raiders fan? What do you think of John Gruden? Are you even here still? If you're here still, type in the chat what you think of John Gruden.
Lawrence, you're up.
It's tough.
It's not tough. It's easy. Let's go.
Nah, it's tough because I got fantasy guys on both sides.
Oh my.
See,
So
here we
split
go.
up, bro. Like, all right, no. Seriously though. I would take. I'm gonna take Baltimore. I think it's gonna be by 2 or 3 points. I think it is gonna be a shootout. I don't see it being. You know what?
Oh,
I could see it being a low scoring game. Actually, I can see it going both ways, like depending on the flow of the game. So I can see it as a field goal or like 2 touchdowns from each side, and then coming down to a field goal or something. But I'm gonna take the Ravens to win. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be game of the week, and I wish it was a Sunday night game, but it happens.
could be
Was it
better than the Browns and
4:25?
Chargers game.
I think it's a 1:00 game, honestly.
1 o'clock.
What?
Let me check.
He said, "Bitch, you like the St. Louis Rams and the Raiders got blessed getting out of that 10-year contract."
I would
That's
say
a fact and a half.
they definitely got blessed getting out of that
What?
contract. But
10-year, I
ranking
don't
the
know,
St.
right?
Louis Rams, greatest show on turf. Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Leonard Little. I mean,
Wait,
what
so
are you
what's
talking about?
So do the Raiders owe John Gurdon the
No.
money, right?
No, because he resigned. He quit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
right, yep.
They probably
Uh-huh.
said, "You about to get up out of here, and you're not taking that money with you."
Right, 10 years, 100 mil. Ooh,
That's
Yeah,
great.
it's a 1:00 game, Chargers game.
that is
Yeah.
wild. That's a 1:00 game.
Because it's on
Showbox.
the East Coast.
That was the last game, or we got another one?
That was the last one I did
That
for.
was the last one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think it's gonna be another good week, man. Like Kenny said, that's gonna probably be game of the week.
If there's any Philadelphia Eagles fans in the building still, I think this is a good game for y'all to win. I think this might be a trap game for Tampa Bay.
In Philly, Philly, come on down.
I don't know. I just think it is, right? I mean, Tampa Bay
No.
coming off that
This-
last week.
No,
All we're gonna see all game is dot, the whole game. And Philly fans calling for everybody's job.
also I think Tom Brady's gonna rush more than Miles Sanders that game. So
Rush more
Now
than
you're
Miles
getting
Sanders.
disrespectful.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, they
Yeah.
haven't given him no touches.
He averaged like 8 yards a game.
Yeah, with how many touches? 10 total.
The running back is the quarterback.
Oh, yeah. My point exactly. They haven't given Miles Sanders enough touches.
well, they're not going to be able to assume you're losing, so.
He said Raiders are
This-
far more
technically,
historic than
you
the
know-
Rams.
Yeah, I'm done talking to him. I don't really care. The Raiders are fucking trash. Kenny, this is a big gambling weekend. Let's go. Saturday, Sunday. Let's go early.
Yeah, what do I got? I don't think I got anything Sunday. We can do that. We can
Yeah,
make that
I'll
work.
drive this time. You drove last
Oh, we
time. Drive
lit.
to my house. Drive to my house, and I'll bring us.
Lit.
Oh shit, man. There you guys go. Let's go. Get that money, man. That's all right.
My boy Owen. I don't know if he's still in the chat. I don't know if he's still in. Shut the fuck up, Rosé. He's
that
stupid.
disrespect.
He's stupid, bro. He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
What'd he say?
The disrespect.
He don't even know what he's talking about.
Speak facts to this man.
It's
That's
not
the
facts,
Raiders.
though.
That's the
It's
Raiders
not
city.
facts.
The Raiders own LA.
Yo, nah, this is disrespectful.
It's not
I'm not
facts.
gonna hold you. This is disrespectful right here. You violated.
It's not true, so that's okay. You can just continue to say non-true things.
It's funny,
in the chat. That's
but
fine.
not true.
But my boy Owen cashed out on a fat parlay, $700, I think it was. It's FanDuel Sportsbook out in some fucking casino. I don't know where it was at, but we don't have that here. We got shitty ass Caesars where I can't even fucking parlay. I can't
Tragic.
even parlay fucking prop bets.
I'm saying,
Unless
you
they're
say you
touchdown
got
scores.
wait. You say you got an app?
No, they use FanDuel Sportsbook at this casino where he went to.
Oh, okay.
So anything you could do on the app, you could do right there.
No, it's sports fan. Bruce is funny as hell.
It just doesn't make sense. Novice sports fan. What does that even
Nick,
mean?
when are we getting you on the podcast, bro? I got to see this.
We got
I'm
first.
just
We
gonna
got to
sit
find a find a camera big enough to fit his head in it, and then we'll be all right.
All right, this is what we're not gonna do. We're not.
Get that.
We're not doing it. We're not doing this. We're not
Gotta
doing
get
this.
that
Yeah, so
wide
we got to be
angle.
nice because Lawrence is on a Facebook ban for me. to
Oh, that's
vote, so we
right.
gotta-
I forgot about it. We don't
can't
want to
be
get
mean.
YouTube banned too.
Yeah. Because they call somebody trash that I mossed for the game.
Guidelines.
He's a fucking bum.
Well,
And just like that, we're off of YouTube.
That's
now.
it. See you later.
this slide.
After what just happened a half an hour ago with the fucking comments, that's at least they should be worried about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, you got the, you see, you look like the Rams logo.
That doesn't make sense, bro.
It does. That's like when we were in high school or middle school, and
It
kids used to be
doesn't
like,
make
"You
any
look
sense."
like this," or I'd be like, "Oh," and I'm like, "That was like what are we laughing
Yeah.
at? Like what?"
All right, man, we about to get up out of here. Any last words from y'all? Any last words? What y'all got? If y'all ain't got nothing, that's fine.
Do I have anything to say? I might not have anything to say.
Wow.
I just got-
groundbreaking.
I
Wow.
just got my weekly Sean Tucker for Heisman. He's the best running back in the country. Shout out to Syracuse University.
I watched that game last week too.
They're gonna beat Clemson Friday night. You heard it here first.
Ooh.
Okay.
Score?
Clemson's
A
sorry
lot.
as hell.
A lot
70,
to a lot.
66 to 65.
Right. A lot to a lot.
Clemson is sorry.
For me, Red Sox Nation, grab your trash cans. Houston's coming to town, so you know what to do.
You're going to get swept.
You guys said that about the Rays.
Did not say that about the race.
You said the Red Sox are going to lose to the Rays.
Yeah,
I didn't say they were
He
gonna
said
get
they're gonna
swept,
get
though.
swept by the
I said
Astros.
they're
not gonna
you-
get swept by the-
I said the Red Sox should bring their brooms to the game because they're going to get swept. They better sweep themselves right out the stadium.
Okay.
They can sweep themselves right into them trash cans.
Oh, how about the Yankees thinking about bringing back Aaron Boone? I'm no longer a Yankees fan.
It's because
Angels.
they want a yes man. That's all it is. They're not gonna hire
I-
anybody with a backbone.
I'll tell you what, boys and girls, if the New York Yankees bring back Aaron Boone this year, I
They'll be like.
I will exactly. Lawrence
I'm
has
taking
it.
my chance to
Lawrence
stop
has that
they'll
shit
be-
right.
They'll be like, yeah. He'd be like,
my
what?
chance.
Yankees. He said the Yankees.
Wait,
He
Lawrence.
said Yankees.
Lawrence, pin that comment from Owen real quick. Red
Ding,
Sox,
ding, ding, ding,
who's gonna be
ding.
the best cheater?
Astros.
Right, like
Oh, the Red Sox cheated too.
yeah. Why did Alex Cora was
Alex
suspended
Cora.
for a season,
Yeah.
Mm.
and then he came right on back and became the manager. And oh, he's so great, yeah, because he cheats.
He literally cheats. He literally cheated.
You see, Phil's quiet because it's the truth.
It is what it is.
All the
That's
Boston
all this
sports
New
teams-
England sports teams do is
Yes.
cheat.
The Celtics?
They cheat.
Well, yeah, they just stink. That the Celtics don't cheat. That's why they don't win. Maybe they should cheat.
They just stink.
Am I wrong?
Yo, all right.
Danny-
This
Danny-
is the bro. This is supposed to be last words. Y'all turned it into another boxing match. All right, man.
Bro, subscribe to the fucking channel. We're at $2.99. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 300.
Bruzace, hit the Bruzace, you about to be number 300 because I know you watching right now and you didn't subscribe. I know you.
How can you not subscribe to this channel? You've known me, Kenny, and Lawrence for half of your life. How can you not subscribe to this channel?
more than half his life.
Yeah, I'm about to say I've lost with this motherfucker, won with this motherfucker. Like, you blocked for me. Like, come on, bro.
Fuck, man.
Sub to the channel.
Sub to the channel.
All right, man. That concludes another episode of IBTE Sports Podcast. We up out of here. We appreciate you. We love you. Leave a comment on this video. Like this video. Share this with your friends. Every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We here when we live on Facebook and YouTube. We up out of here.
Hopefully.
And the Rams ain't shit.
Whoa!